The LA Police Gear 8-inch tactical boot with side zipper. Let's check it out. We're taking a look at the LA Police Gear. This is their 8-inch tactical boot with the zipper. This is their coyote color. This also comes in a black. So I'm going to go through some of the details of the boots. We're going to put them on, and then for the next few weeks I'm going to wear these and kind of give you a rundown of what I think about the boots overall. I went through most of the reviews on the LA Police Gear website. There were 245 reviews on these boots, and it came out with a 4.5 star. There were a number of things that were contradictory according to different people, the way they wear, their feet, you know, and a lot of other factors. It does come in a 7R, the lowest, and I think it goes all the way up to a 13 wide. Now obviously price is one of the biggest selling points of these boots. For $49.99, I mean, it's a fantastic price, which leads you to think, are these going to hold up? One of the things that LA Police Gear says is that these are made to cut out the middleman. LA Police Gear sells these directly, and so, you know, the price really comes in very reasonable. You know, and really that's about half to a third the price of most of your other tactical boots, really good solid boots. I've had a lot of experience with LA Police Gear with their bags, and they have held up extremely well. And the range bag, and I have another kind of just a pouch that I use all the time, and I've been using them for probably about, I'd say about 10-15 years, and they've just held up well. So we're going to see about these, but what we're going to do right now is just go over some of the details about the boots. I have not put these on. I haven't worn them yet. One of the big things is this is the coyote color, which has the suede, and then it has a ballistic nylon upper. The suede is leather. One thing that this is the 2.0, and they improved the leather on both this and the black version. Now the black version is more, you can actually polish the black version. These are actually pretty solid boots, pretty much made actually for cooler weather because they're not ventilated. Like some of the other type boots. Of course, you do have the ballistic nylon here that would probably help some. Another big feature of these boots obviously is the zipper. We have a Velcro pull here. They are YKK zippers, and they're metal, and so they zip up, and once you lace these boots you should be able just to take them on and off just using the zipper, which makes it very convenient. And then we just snap the Velcro right down. Another unique feature is the FCS, and this is the flex carry system. You can actually put a pouch on here, like a small knife or a flashlight, or even slide a standard pocket knife clip in here, and to be able to carry this on the boot. It's on the outside of the boot. It is suede around here. Now, one of the things about that I saw in a number of complaints was a lot of guys were wanting a loop here instead of just the pull tab. I guess because of the zipper, they felt like the pull tab would be fine. We'll find out about that as we check them out and test them out. The eyelets are reinforced. The shoestrings themselves, or the laces, are somewhat of a heavy cord, very similar to sort of a paracord as far as in thickness, but it's definitely not paracord. We have some larger, thicker reinforced eyelets here at the top, and that way you can really cinch this down to your foot. It has a reinforced toe, and you can see how it comes up and gives you some protection at the top, and also the heel has been reinforced. There is somewhat of a kickoff here, so it gives you a little bit of an angle where you can just push it down just to get these boots off pretty quickly. You can see where the nylon areas are. They're just kind of interspersed, the tongue, and then again on the sides right next to the zipper. Right here around the cuff, a lot of padding. It is gusseted, so this is going to help to kind of keep your ankle sealed and keep debris from falling down inside the boot. Very aggressive tread, and it does have kind of feathers out at an angle all the way across. This is going to keep mud kind of falling off. But this is great for climbing, rope climbing, or even, you know, hiking, doing whatever. It's a very aggressive tread. One of the things, though, that it said on the website is it's not necessarily a non-slip surface, even though you have a lot of texturing on all these different areas. So we'll see about that as well. The toe of the boot is reinforced. It's going to give you a lot of protection to your toes, but it's not metal, it's not steel, and that way you're not going to have the crush effect if these are really pressed down too much. And that way you can kind of go through airports, things like that, you know, without a metal insert. I know I had some boots a few years ago that every time I went through the airport, it set off the metal detectors. Now you do have YKK zippers here that are metal, and so, you know, you want to think about that as well. And of course the eyelets are as well. These are EVA midsoles, which are ethylene vinyl acetate. It's a copolymer. It's going to give you a little bit of cushioning effect. And of course you do have some arch support there as well. One thing I'm really big about is the odor of the boot, and if you're using it a lot, is it going to stink? We'll see how that goes as we wear these for a while. Went ahead and loosened up the laces, and I've got the zippers unzipped on here. We're going to go ahead and put them on. I'm going to just see how they fit. Take my Clarks. I wear a size 10, and so far the fit is right on. You go ahead and tighten these down. Again, there are eyelets on either side. It comes without the top eyelet attached. Now before I tighten these down, I guess I better go ahead and zip these up. These are the first boots I've had that zip up. They cinch down really well. Plenty of lace left to double knot, which I really like to do. Now because these are, you can tuck these away inside the boot, but for now we're just going to leave them out. Seems a little stiff at the ankle, but I can already tell these are very comfortable boots. They're pretty lightweight too, at 1.6 pounds. Alright, we've got them on. Let's just get an initial feel. Now while I've got them on, let's go ahead and test the zipper. It's got that rear part. Okay, they slip out pretty easily. Going on is the big deal. And they go on fairly easily. And they feel about like they did when I first laced them up. On and off, no trouble. And of course, once these wear in and break in a little bit more, they should be even easier to slide on and off. Really love this convenience. Now from what I understand up front, they do not claim that these are waterproof, but I read a lot of reviews where guys said that wearing these in the rain and the snow and whatever, they had no leakage whatsoever. We'll test them for waterproof just to see where they go, but we will wear them out in the rain a little bit as well and see how that works. Now I did examine a lot of the lacing, and it seems to be very well lined up, very symmetrical. There's not a lot of uneven lines. It's triple stitched right in here, double stitched here, and it looks like a really solid boot. Here you can see the double, triple stitching all the way around. So I think the construction is really good. Let's just see how they hold up. And guys, I'm rough on my boots. I've been wearing these for 4 weeks. I did take a little bit of a break when I was at the beach. After a couple of days of people really staring, I decided to wear my flip-flops. But I did wear these quite a bit. Right when I put them on, it did not take long for these to break in. There were no real hot spots. Right around the collar here, I did have to adjust a little bit to just find the right spot. It just seemed a bunch, but there was no pain or any kind of discomfort. Just it just bunched up a little bit, and I would just adjust the tongue and it was fine. You can see I've been down to the creek and I did get it in water. The water went over the boot pretty much, and I got no moisture inside. These are pretty solid. In fact, I saw a number of guys on some reviews talking about these boots and how they would wear them in the snow in the wintertime and how they would keep their feet dry even in the rain. So I decided to go ahead and test them out and walk quite a bit in the water, and no problem. Another thing that a lot of people complained about were the laces coming untied. I did have that problem a little bit at one point. It was funny, about a week out. I didn't have any trouble, then all of a sudden they came loose a few times. just tightened it up a couple of times, and I've not had them. In fact, I've not touched them for the past 2 weeks, and they've been pretty solid. A lot of guys will just tuck them anyway, and that way you don't have to worry about them coming untied. But they're fine for me, and that's just my experience. One of the things though that I love, and this is really the first pair of boots that I've had that have been zippers. Typically I just felt like that the zipper might be weak, but these have been super easy to take on and off. Just the tab, and it's held up well. The zipper, never had the tab come loose. The boot, when I'm putting it on and off, and I just get my heel back here and then just pull out. And you can see how easy that is. I mean, it comes right out. But again, the comfort, the smell, it didn't seem to cause kind of odors with this shoe. And now I did do a review on some of the 511 Halcyons, and those honestly are the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. But these are very comfortable regardless, and I would say that because I was kind of spoiled a little bit with those, that they're not quite as comfortable as the Halcyons. But one of the things about those, they're very lightweight and they have kind of a mesh material, and when I did step in the creek, the water poured in. On these it did not. Very soft, padded, it really supports your ankle, and I'll just show you when putting it on. I just grab the back of the boot here and just push down. It goes right in, zips right up, and you're ready to go. I mean, it is so easy, and really like the way these things have held up. Again, it's only been a month, so this is not any kind of extensive time. Now, some guys were talking about how this would come loose. One guy that worked in a machine shop, and I'm sure if you got a lot of solvents and oils on your boot, even in a kitchen with a lot of oils, you're probably going to have some issues with any boot, much less these. But as you can see, the seams seem to be staying intact. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at it when we get inside. There are a couple of things that I do want to talk about. One thing is the tab right here, and this helped a little bit, but I would really like to see a loop right here where I can get a hold of it. But to be honest, I would grab here and just pull up. There's enough padding right here to be able to get those up. Also right here on the side, we have this one place that you can actually put a small pouch. I tried that. I don't really like a pouch down there. I did put just a knife and slipped in the clip, and actually I wore it for about 3 days, and only time I ever had any problems, I was coming off these steps one time and it hit the step and it popped it up, not off, but there were 2 loops here, so it seemed to retain one of the loops. That to me though is maybe a bonus if that's what you like to do, or maybe in certain situations, but I wouldn't just put a knife on here and forget it. If I was going to put a knife here, it'd be just for a specific time, and then I would take it off. We're going to go ahead and just remove the boots, and again I'm just going to kind of go through and show you how simple it is to remove them. And my wife is one of those that does not like you to wear shoes on the carpet, and so I'm always having to take these off when I go in. And guys, I'll tell you, it was really easy to do. Now let's take a little bit more of a detailed look, and this is again after the boots have been worn for about 4 weeks. One thing I think with the original boot was it had more of a thinner material right in here, and some complained that this would break up, but the Gen 2 boots, they've strengthened that up, and you can see that there's no real wear spots anywhere, I mean except for just regular normal wear. They are wet right now, so there's going to give you a little discoloration. Two, we have red dirt or red mud down here in South Carolina, and so that gets on the boot. But they've really stayed pretty clean because I've been in and out of that red dirt forever. Right here the seam seems to be holding up all along the soles. I don't see any kind of separation. Same with this one. No separation whatsoever. That would be a big one for me. As I stated, there were a number of reviews talking about how these would come untied. I just double knotted them and they did fine. Right at one time they were a little bit weak, and I just kind of tightened it up good and I didn't have any more trouble. The padding around the top, it just really fits well to the ankle. The zippers, they held up well. The Velcro, good and solid, and I was taking these on and off quite a bit. Zipper, good and heavy duty. This zipper never got caught and stuck. The insoles seem to be fine. They look good. really, this boot, everything looks fine on this boot. I mean, it's definitely been used, and I've been trailing around with them. And then, of course, where the seams are, they've held up very well. The double stitching right here where you attach different things, it's held up fine. I didn't use those too much, but I don't see, they've been double stitched all around, so I think that should be fine. Again, I think a loop here would be great. One thing that I did notice though was on this zipper, on this side, there's a lot of fraying going on right here. I'm not sure why it's just on one boot, but you can see there's some fraying just on the outside. It's not where the threads are, it's on the outside area right in here. But I find that kind of funny because this side has none of that. So I don't know if this foot just happened to be more where abrasive action was going on right here, but it's there for sure. Soles are definitely dirty, but you know, there's no excessive wear. They've held up well, and so I can't complain about that. They do have a nice gripping surface to them, and I was able to pretty much go where I was going. Down at the creek, there's a lot of really slick rocks, and it seemed to be fine. There was a little bit of slippage here and there, but really you need felt, you know, to keep you from sliding on that kind of stuff. But the tread works well. Now overall, I have to give these boots at least a 4.5 out of 5. I think the only reason I'm not giving it a 5.5 is because of the fraying right here. Now when I say 5.5, I'm not comparing these to Danners or anything like that that'll last you a lifetime. These boots definitely over time will probably wear. But for $49, it's just a great way to go if you're just looking for a good pair of boots that you wear for different tasks and different things. If you're doing something that you're working every day, especially in really hard conditions, I don't know how long these boots will hold up, definitely compared to really high quality brands. But for $49.95 or whatever the price, this is really a great deal, and something that, you know, you can keep back and use just when you need a good pair of boots. Now I'll have a link down below to the page for these boots on the LA Police Gear website. For $49, this is a great boot to just kick around in, and really to hike and do a lot of things. If you're going to go on an extended trek, you know, for days, this may or may not be the best boot. Or if you work in really rough conditions, you know, that's up to you. A lot of guys that work with boots every day, they have a good idea of what they want. But for $49, this is just a great price. They've held up well pretty much, and I'm very pleased with them. Again, you know, I went 4 weeks with these, using them every day and pretty hard. I mean, whether it was the range, whether it was out doing, you know, different reviews, whatever I was into, and around town, wherever I was going, these boots were so comfortable, I just left them on. Excellent boot for the money. There are times where they do discount these boots every once in a while, from what I understand, but even at $49, what a great price for a good solid boot. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. These are made for, and then just pop that Velcro right off. And then we just snap the Velcro right down. There's no steel in the gun. Okay. This is EVA or ethylene.